Hey guys, Youngblood Fantasy 91 here with another commentary for your wonderful people. Now, it's exceptionally clear that the members of the commentary community run the gamut of relative aptitude, and it's pretty obvious a lot of people in the community are tiring easily of mediocre, generic commentators who either pick on subjects older than that mold in your refrigerator or expend absolutely no effort to entertain their target audience. And someone who shares this sentiment is Giganite12, and he even made a rant decrying these deplorable actions. Except he's also another mediocre generic commentator who expends absolutely no effort to entertain his target audience. I'll listen in and I'll see what I have to say about this. I really despise how so many people wish to resort to the most obnoxious metal music for their intros, because after this over-the-top music, you're greeted with a voice that literally secretes apathy. This asymmetry between voice and music has to end. Besides, would it really kill you to use something like this as an intro?
Hello YouTube, this is Giganite12 here to bring you another rant. Now in this video I will be ranting on the commentary videos that are out there.
Oh sure, because your commentaries clearly represent your high standards in terms of editing, presentation, and entertainment. Clearly, you have plenty of creative expertise, and this should warrant my full attention.
Now what I mean by this, there are 4 types of videos that I have seen out there that are really stupid.
You're being entirely non-specific. Do you mean commentary videos or just YouTube videos in general? Because without the specificity, one can easily jump to the conclusion that you are generalizing all YouTube videos ever made.
Okay, some not as bad as others, but if all the rest of the YouTube community decided to look at the commentary communities and these 4 would represent all of us, we will look bad.
And if people hear your clunky speech and grammar, they would think your actions will make the community look bad. I'm just saying, the best way to avoid all this is script and proofread. That way you don't sound like you're declaring a war in standard edited American English.
In more ways than one. Now let's begin, shall we? And also, yes, the same way I did for my rant on Twilight, number 1 will be the least worst, with number 4 being the worst of the worst.
I understand that you have a personal system for this, but that sounds very backward to me. Shouldn't number 1 be the most virulent video mediocrity, while number 4 the most benign?
I will be using it in that kind of style. Now let's truly begin.
Thank God, because with your stuttering and haphazard organization, coupled with your obnoxious intro, it took you 1 minute to get to the point. Super.
Number 1 is commentaries with bad video quality. Now this type of commentary is really bad because the quality in the video is just horrendous. They don't use YouTube downloader or whatever.
Oh, the YouTube downloader quip. Where have I heard that before? And I know you're referring to video resolution when you say quality, but I can say that your video quality in terms of variety is low since you insist on using one avatar throughout your whole 7.5-minute Inanity Fest. All I have to say is, if it didn't work for Korshal, it's not going to work for you.
They don't use Windows Movie Maker. They just use their webcam or video camera to record anything that goes on in the whole video while taping it in while watching it on their computer.
That sounded extremely roundabout, and your point was lost in your circuitous rambling. I mean, yeah, recording on camera is lazy, inefficient, and Invader Equestria's form of poor trolling, but whatever point you could have had here was lost in your discursive rambling.
Now most of the time, at some points it can work and it can be good.
When did it ever work for anyone? Every time I heard of someone pointing a video camera at their screen, the rest of the community screamed out, "Get a YouTube downloader!" Tell me one time where that actually worked, and maybe I'll leave the mediocre commentators be with their animu and video games.
But the quality is so bad that you're more tempted to watch something else with better quality. But the one thing that keeps it at the bottom of the 4 lists.
Let me just say that your voice reminds me of M-Skull, but your constant stuttering ruins that only redeeming quality about you.
Is that, well, even though the quality may be bad, the video itself may be good. And, well, that's something to think about. And I do remember somebody mentioned it.
That somebody should be given a cookie because that particular point that he and you brought up can apply to this video here. You probably had good points about the community, and yet your bad organization undermined the impact of these points. That and your pseudo M-Skull voice.
Now, number 2, and well, this one's worse than the video commentaries, but it's not as bad as the other 2.
Yeah, you pretty much established that point back in the beginning of the video. You're not the vocal incarnation of Philip Glass, and repeating segments of your speech over and over is only going to give people a splitting Hidachi.
I'm about to mention revenge commentaries. Well, these commentaries are bad due to the fact that most people who make these are butthurt just because someone made a commentary on them.
For a minute, I thought you meant the former Revenge of the Fallen's commentaries. Then I thought you referred to generic commentators and how their commentary titles are the most prosaic thing on the face of the earth. I mean, come on, who here can agree with me that revenge commentary sounds like something your mediocre commentator would name their commentary series? But do go on, this sounds intriguing.
Case in point, let's say I made a commentary on Chicken George 295. I made a commentary on him, he gets mad at me, and next you know, he making a commentary on either the commentary I made on him or another video that I made. Now, it just doesn't sound right because the only reason he's making it because he's angry.
A solid point with a relatable and concise example? My God, you just made a solid argument. The hope meter just went slightly up there. A little slightly.
And he will most likely bring out his anger in the video. Whilst, at the same time, it could be entertaining, but it's just sad because he took my commentary so seriously. Like I just insulted him somehow. But some of these can be fun, and some of these are probably made by trolls.
Wait, you said some of these can be fun? What? I thought you said that they were one of the worst types of commentary video. Why are you saying that they are poor excuses for commentaries when you then turn around and spout that some of them can be enjoyable? If you find exceptions or counterexamples, it damages your argument. Now the hope meter went down again.
Who was just having a gay old time. Or just people who decided to correct points. Oh well. There's not as bad, so let's move on to number 3.
Well, if they're doing this to have fun, then they are not being serious, and it really isn't a revenge commentary, is it? My God, this video meanders more than Owen's River.
Number 3 and this one is a huge doozy. Commentaries that mostly insult people.
Are you kidding me? What is wrong with certain commentators making pot shots at other people? That pretty much forms the infrastructure of great commentators' material. Let's take a look at your recommended channel, shall we? Okay, this guy insults, and this guy really insults. Plus, Flippy and MaxiPad. Need I say more? Please don't tell me you're part of the constructive criticism cult of personality. I mean army, I mean fad, I mean...
Or I like to call insult commentaries. Now, these commentaries, all they do is insult other people, calling them gay, calling them stupid, calling them dumbasses, ugly, yada yada yada. Now, these commentaries are bad because all they do is insult other people. They hardly bring anything to the table.
I understand where you're going, but if all commentary videos are supposed to be constructive criticism, they will be exceptionally boring. Do you honestly expect someone to sit through a whole video while someone is in the background meekly uttering, you gotta work on your research because it sucks? And I think that represents a substandard ability to commentate, not a way to be friendly and nice.
Now, there is some commentaries that, while they are insulting, now they do it. Now, that can be depending on the video or the commentator in themselves. But, some people, you have to find the right mix. Now, also depends on the type of commentator you are.
Absolutely. So you should not make a category for insulting commentaries if it just depends on what type of commentator you are. I understand that differences apply, but you spoke generally about insulting commentaries. This point was well presented, but my previous point stands since you were being a little too general about the insulting aspects of commentaries.
The reason why it's not as high as number 4 is because, well, at least it is a commentary compared to the fourth thing I'm about to bring up.
Wait, Hold on. You categorized what types of commentaries you personally consider are exemplars of the decline of the community, and yet you say the final classification aren't even commentaries? Either you need a script or you need some sense.
Now these commentary videos are pointless because they're not even commentaries. They're more like support videos that are called commentaries.
Okay, I'll call them commentaries, or super special awesome commentaries, or the classic Big Mac commentary, now with great toppings such as constructive criticism, poor points, bad editing, and poor microphone quality, all in a sesame seed bun.
Case in point, Joshua8428 made a few commentary videos on Danny, aka Rashutsu Rises, retrospectives of Legend of Zelda The Four Swords.
This is a public service announcement. Joshua is a dead topic. He's deader than a cadaver. Ignore him. This has been a public service announcement.
Now, nothing was wrong with her video, but he claimed to have done this so he can give her support and, give her that push in order to keep her going.
But the very best thing of all.
53 seconds devoted to Joshua. Yeah, that time was so well spent.
Why couldn't you just leave that in a comment? Those commentaries are absolutely pointless. They do nothing to help out an argument because 99% of the time there is no argument. All you're doing is being a yes man.
And that's how you personally define pointless. However, you seem to only use the ever-popular Joshua as an example. Do you know anyone else who does this? Are there other people out there besides Joshua who fall into this particular category of low-grade commentary videos that you established? Where are they? I don't think you can understand the problems of the community as much as you personally claim.
And you know what? That's all I have to say. And this Giganite 12, and I'll see you all next time. And pointless commentaries are pointless.
And that's the way it is. Look, man, I know that the commentary community is rife with faults and atrocious judgment, but before you start criticizing others for bad video content, work on your own videos and commentaries first. I know that you've made some decent points in the video, but that was clouded by your haphazard organization, your overall boring format, and your general speaking manner. All of your redeemable qualities were obscured by your poor planning of your videos, and that does not make a good commentator. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this. This is Youngblood Fantasy 91. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all on the brighter later.